Hi everybody, today I'm reviewing the Beatles' Help album. So Help was the Beatles' fifth album, and it was also their second movie. The album came out on August 1965, and this was the last album with covers, two covers. And after that, from Rubber Soul to Let It Be, all the songs were originals, except for Maggie May on Let It Be. And I think this was the Beatles' last album of innocence, because you know the story about the movie Help when they started to smoke some weed. And the musical influences here go from pop to rock to folk to country to classic. And we have a lot of acoustic guitar on Help, we have a lot of piano, and Paul plays guitar on 5 or 6 songs, and I think it was probably, yeah, it was the first time that kind of thing happened, because on all their other albums released before that, I think Paul always played the bass. But on Help, he plays guitar on 5 or 6 songs at least. And George is back with Help. George is back with the two original songs. And before that album, he only wrote one song, which is Don't Bother Me, and that song appeared on the With the Beatles album. We have some new sounds or new sounds effect here, like the volume pedal, the tremolo effect on the guitar. The vocal harmonies, the back vocals are great, and this is a pretty good album in my opinion. I think this album is pretty underrated. The melodies are so great, and I'm thinking about the songs from the movie. The first 7 songs, I think the melodies are pretty nice and pretty catchy. So we have 14 songs, and let's take a look at those songs one by one. So the album starts with Help, which is, of course, which is a good rock song. I love the guitar work by George. I love the vocal harmonies, the back vocals. But Help was a very pop album, but at the same time, we had a couple of real serious and real personal songs. And Help was one of these songs with You've Got to Hide Your Love Away or Yesterday. And John really sings Help for a kickoff here, like he said. And the song is a classic, and it's a 10 out of 10. Next song is The Night Before. Lyrically, the song is probably more simple than Help, but the melody is pretty nice, and what I love best is the back vocals, those when Paul sings, when I held you near, you were so sincere, and it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love those kinds of things. I love everything about the vocal harmonies or the back vocals. So it's a 10 out of 10. Next song is You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. And we can feel here the Bob Dylan influence. And just love everything about that song. The lyrics, the acoustic guitar, the way John sings the song. And it's a 10 out of 10. Next is I Need You, sung by George. And this is a lovely, pretty lovely love song by George. The lyrics are pretty simple, but I think it's a pretty nice song. I love the melody, and what I love best is that volume pedal effect, and it's a 10 out of 10. Next song is Another Girl. Pretty catchy. I love the melody. It sounds like a summer song, and for me it's a 10 out of 10. Next is You're Going to Lose That Girl. This is the official title, but the Beatles sing You're Gonna Lose That Girl. This is not my favorite, but the vocals are pretty nice. Same thing for the melody. But I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I would probably give it an 8.5, something like that. Okay, next is Ticket to Ride. First heavy metal song, according to John. But in those years, it sounded probably like a heavy song because there's a lot of guitar in that song, and I love the guitar riff, of course, the melody, and I love everything about it. And it's another classic. It's a 10 out of 10. Next is Act Naturally, and it's a cover, this one, with a country flavor, and it's nice. This song is one of my least favorites on the album, but it's decent. I mean, it's a funny song, and Ringo sings it well. I would give it probably an 8 point, probably an 8 out of 10. Okay, next is It's Only Love. John always hated that song because of the lyrics, but I think the melody is pretty nice, and I love the tremolo effect on the electric guitar, and for me it's a 10 out of 10. Next is You Like Me Too Much, another song by George. Pretty simple song, lyrically it's pretty simple, but it sounds a little bit macho. I mean, if we pay attention to the lyrics, you know. And I would give it probably an 8.8 or 8.9. Really like it. It's not perfect, it's not the classic, but I think it's a pretty nice song. Okay, next is Tell Me What You See. A nice song, not a great song, but nice song. I like the vocals, the melody. I think I would give it probably an 8.3, an 8.4, something like that. Next is I've Just Seen a Face, and Paul plays the guitar. I really love the guitar intro. It's a catchy song. I like the lyrics, almost everything about it, and I would give it a 9.2 or 9.3 out of 10. Next is Yesterday. I used to love that song much better in the past, but it's still a classic. I mean, the chords progression are superb. The guitar work, the lyrics, and I think personally I would probably give it a 9, a 9.5 because I'm getting tired of that song, but to be honest, it deserves a 10 out of 10. And finally, the last song, which is a cover, Dizzy Miss Lizzy. It's a catchy song, but it's probably my least favorite. It's just an average song to me. I think I would give it a 7, 7 out of 10 probably. So for the whole album, we have a couple of 9. I gave a 9 for a couple of songs. I gave an 8 or an 8.5 for a couple of songs. But I think for the whole album, I would give a 10 out of 10. Because, I gave a 10 out of 10 for songs like Help, The Night Before, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, I Need You, Ticket to Ride, but it could be an 11 out of 10. So that's why I give a 10 out of 10 for the whole album. So that was it for my review. I hope you enjoyed, and as usually, you can leave your comments and you can thumbs up this video if you wish. So thanks for watching, and see you for my next video.